you? Who's the band?
We are Nick Dittmeier and the Sawdusters, and I am Nick, and I do all the songwriting and guitar playing. And over here,
I'm JD. I do the bass playing.
And I guess I'm Josh, and I guess I do the drumming.
So where are you all from? Because you're kind of staggered, right?
yeah, well, the band originated and kind of lives in southern Indiana, but we're not all from that area, but that's where the band currently operates out of.
And when people ask you what your sound is like, how do you describe it to people who've never heard your music?
Well, you asked that. My Instagram bio says Hoosier Twang.
I like that. That's a good description.
Yeah.
So while we're talking about Instagram, where can everyone find you on the social medias?
Yeah, our socials, we're on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And if you just search for us through those platforms, you would be able to find us.
Has anyone ever tweeted you that just blew your mind? That you're like, oh my gosh, I am talking to this person.
No, I don't get great Twitter engagement, honestly. It's fallen short of my expectations.
Well, maybe you will after raw milk.
Yes, maybe.
Speaking of milk, what do you guys put in your coffee? Are you real milk people? Nut milk? Nut juice?
Yes, and we saw a billboard on the highway driving back from Florida that said, "Nut milk is not milk." In Atlanta, it was a very anti nut milk billboard, but I do partake in almond milk with my coffee. If that's my main preference.
To quote Will Ferrell from Anchorman, milk was a bad choice. I do not drink milk at all.
Only on special occasions.
Okay, so what do we have on the horizon for the band? What's coming up? Tour, releases, new music? Give us the rundown.
Yeah, we were pretty weighted down by the pandemic, like a lot of people have been. So we haven't been doing anything, and we are trying to reintegrate ourselves into society slowly, but we are working on it, and we're announcing tour dates right now, and just regional to the region, and then we're gonna go see the world again. Hopefully, go see this big old ball of matter. Right.
While you're all are traveling around going to these shows, what are you jamming to in the band? What songs are on? Who are you listening to? What artists?
Do you want to start? You want me?
Go for it.
Usually on tour, I listen to anything that does not resemble the music I make. So that could be a lot of death metal. It could be 10 out of 10 raunchy 90s hip hop. It could be jazz, whatever that is. So anything from Miles Davis to the Ghetto Boys is going to probably be on my Spotify. Oh, if I could open for anybody,
Yeah.
probably. Oh gosh, I don't know. What do you want to do?
I mean, only because the Vogue was mentioned earlier. I got to open for Los Lobos there once, and I would love to do that again. It's just been on my mind since you mentioned it earlier.
Well, hopefully they will see this on Raw Milk. And we can make the connection happen on the next tour. You just never know. So what do you already have out there? Where can people find your music? Spotify streaming? Where's the easiest way?
Yeah.
To get in touch?
Well, if you like Spotify, then yes, the entire catalog is on Spotify. We also have physical product as well. And if you go to Bandcamp, we have all of our albums. You get it 180 gram, the Cadillac of vinyl, if you go there. So, but also YouTube. And if you like your streaming, you put it on when you walk the dog or whatever it is. Go for it. We're everywhere.
Leave it on while you take naps and while you sleep for 8 hours, because those pennies add up.
There we go. The best way to support is to buy merch, right? So
That is very helpful. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have any fun merch that people should know about? Onesies?
Oh no! Well, especially especially this. Well, I mean, I've printed kid stuff before for like if we're like I've posted before, like we have merch sales or whatever, and like let people know that we can print, we can get anything printed if we've done little bitty kid sizes and stuff. I've also done 6X before. There was a guy that wanted a 6X printed, and that shit was crazy because it was like two people holding it. It was like a flag.
So at any time, they could have your logo on any piece of merchandise they would like. Is that
Well,
correct?
not any piece of merchandise. Because, I mean, there's a. I mean,
No
we have
confusion.
limits. We have, we won't just do anything.
Back to
And
the pencils.
but if you go to Bandcamp, yes, merch is very helpful. If you go to our Bandcamp page or just the website, our website, nickdittmeier.com, would direct you to all of that good stuff. But because of the pandemic, we've kind of scaled all of our merch back a little bit for the year. And as we get ready to tour back again, we'll get back on that.
So while people are listening to your session on raw milk, what should they be sipping on other than maybe their favorite milk selection? What would you pair with your songs?
I would go with JD's got some Basil Hayden's. I would go with Ice Mountain sparkling water, pomegranate lemon flavor. It's a little hard to find sometimes, but it's worth the journey. Try to find it.
Josh?
You got the bourbon and you got the seltzer, so I think maybe both. Have a little bit of both.
Little spritzer.
Yeah, it's a little spritzer.
Okay, so you're huge stars. You have a rider that everyone has to obey. What's a weird thing you're going to put on your rider? But I mean, you could do now, right? Like,
Yeah. See, our expectations of it's hard to say because they're so tempered.
I was on tour with Cedric Burnside, and a very old rider of his had a can of Spam in it, and it was still there. It showed up one night. It was like, that's from like 7 years ago. So
Hell yeah. That was some production assistant doing her job. They're like, "Go find this can of Spam." If you haven't tried grilled Spam with some Munster cheese and honey mustard, it's very good. Just a random thought there. So what do you want your fans to get excited about this coming year now that things are getting back to normal?
I would get excited about being able to connect with people because the electronic, when the pandemic happened, it happened at such a time that was fortuitous in the way of like where all of our like devices were, that so much work was able to be moved online, or we were doing live streams, and people really were in a very fortunate position to be able to do all those things. But it's not. I think if there's anything that we found out from the last year, that's not substitute for the real thing. And I don't think I'd have to tell people that. I think people are like they want to get back out in the public and experience things. So I think it's like a shared excitement from the appetite of the public, what's possible, and what we're ready to go do.
How old were you when you wrote your first song?
I was like 12 or 13 probably, and that's why I wanted to play guitar, because I had like lyric ideas and like had an idea of like a band I wanted to start like a band that sounded like Stone Temple Pilots or something like that, and so I like got a guitar from my grandma. She was a music teacher and is a music teacher, and this Alvarez that was in the classroom that nobody was using. So yeah, that's how I kind of demark when that kind of started.
Okay, and new music you're working on, is there any source of inspiration you're going to from the past year, or did you actually find that it was kind of stilting? Was there a flourish, or were you like not about writing?
It took me a while to like warm up to it, and it was so hard to like even get together with other people and to plan, because you couldn't. It was just hard to plan. Like, I always felt like something could come up. And I feel like a lot of the new music I'm trying to make, I demoed a lot of songs eventually. Like, I eventually got in the headspace of doing it. And I think that was probably when I realized like we were going to be sitting for a while, kind of thing. So me and Josh, we went a different direction with some things. and got really into like loops and synthesizers and drum machines, and really knocked a lot of stuff off of each other. And we could kind of integrate some new stuff that we didn't use before to use in our writing. So I got better at like piano and stuff, really practiced a lot more. And so I feel like I'm sitting on this crop of songs, and it's really different from the other stuff we did, but it's in a way like it's kind of like it represents this kind of like sparse isolation in a sense that like there wasn't any way around it. I mean, it's not a concept album or anything like that, but
Like an alter ego coming out that maybe you named
or a
it
new part of me.
project?
Yeah, a new room in my body house or whatever, that I didn't know existed.